We begin with exciting footage of Ukrainian FPV drones in action against the Russian army, which has been advancing and occupying Ukrainian territories for over 3 years. And FPV drones are restoring some small measure of justice in this world. Destruction of a Russian BMP which is advancing very quickly, but after a while it stops and burns with the flames of justice. Russian trucks are also targeted as they are often used to transport ammunition and personnel, making them a very important target for Ukrainian pilots. Here we see how after an artillery strike nearby, a Russian truck is standing on the road without a driver as he has already fled. And with a precise strike, the drone finishes the job. Motorcycles are also very common on the battlefield at this time, but they are also very often destroyed by UAV pilots, although they are very fast targets, but not for drones. The most important thing is to be observant and skilled, because 1 or 2 wrong movements of the drone can cause you to lose control and miss the target, which is the most important task. In today's world, communication equipment is indispensable on the front line, so destroying it significantly slows down all enemy offensive actions. They try to camouflage and hide it, but this is not always successful. In this case, we see how the drone flies into the house. It did not detonate immediately, so it had to be activated manually. One of the most difficult mechanized assaults on the enemy took place on October 20th in the Zaporizhzhia direction. Russian soldiers were opposed by fighters from the Ronin unit. The first armored vehicle hit a mine in the middle of the road, destroying it, and the soldiers fled into the forest. The second vehicle followed the first, hit the same mine and activated it. This BMP drove a little further into the forest and stopped there, and all the Russians fled again and hid among the trees. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian military has already launched several drones in the direction of this road, and the first ones have already begun their destruction. After several shells, no significant damage was done due to the anti-drone net, but after Ukrainian pilots spotted an open hatch, they immediately flew into it, and after just 1 shell, the BMP caught fire. A few minutes later, the Russians advanced a little further and were already in the settlement. But fortunately, Ukrainian scouts noticed their movement in time, and several drones struck the enemy armored vehicle almost simultaneously. After several strikes, the vehicle finally stopped, and to destroy it completely, more FPV drones were sent, which successfully did their job. And after several strikes, only a pile of burnt metal remained from the BMP. Later that evening, 3 more Russian BMPs and a tank in front, which looked like were spotted on another road as they had decided to take a different route. The first drone hits the rear of the vehicle, squarely immobilizing it. After that, a few more precise strikes destroy the vehicle. The rest of the armored vehicles were taken by this landing force and they moved on. But the drones kept their eyes on them. The next strikes destroyed 2 more Russian IFVs. Thus, only the last IFV and 1 tank remained. But drones were already flying after them from the nearest military positions. A few more precise strikes and the last target remains, a tank. The Russians don't have many tanks left, so they don't use them as often as they used to, which makes them the most important target in the entire column. The first drone flies up from the front, and we see that this tank also has an anti-mine bucket in front. This target must be destroyed. The first drone hits it squarely, but the armor is reliable, and the tank continues to move. Another drone flies in behind it. Still nothing. A third hit. The tank starts to move a little slower, and the 4th drone misses by a little. After that, the tank continues to move, and its fate is unknown. Next, we see a Russian soldier who is lost somewhere in the middle of the front line. The drone approaches. He hears the sound and grabs his rifle, but out of fear, he forgets to take it off the safety catch. However, he is lucky as the drone flies past, but then turns around. He takes the safety off and starts shooting, but it's too late. The drone is already too close. 2 more got lost after a failed assault, but they managed to find a half-ruined building in the middle of a field which had previously been used to keep pigs and could serve as a shelter from drones or their final resting place. The FPV drone was approaching very quickly, while the Russians had already noticed it and quickly moved to a tree which they thought could save them. But no, the drone flew straight into its target. Next, a Russian truck carries additional positions. Next, you can observe remarkable authentic footage of UAV pilots at work on Sunday, October 26th. They are performing their duties with precision and fairness, clearing their lands of the enemy who attacks relentlessly every day, every night, every hour, and every minute. Enjoy watching.